Hi everyone! By now, I think a lot of people already got their Magic Keyboard for their iPad Pros. I hope it makes their iPads more productive. But for those of you who are still waiting for their Magic Keyboard, or if you're still trying to decide whether to get it or not, especially if you're students. Disclaimer though, I'm not a student currently, that was 9 years ago for me. But in this video, we're going to take a look at some common tasks such as note-taking, especially using OneNote, some web browsing, maybe some assignments reading PDF, multitasking, and music. We're going to try these tasks on the iPad Pro plus the Magic Keyboard versus a laptop. Let's see who comes out on top. Starting things off with the biggest task, note-taking. Looking at the OneNote, the Magic Keyboard provides a seamless experience. You can use the trackpad to move, zoom, pan around just like as you would using your fingers on the screen. Everything works perfectly. And having both the glass trackpad and a really good keyboard all in one piece, it's just really convenient. I can type just as fast on the Magic Keyboard as I can on most laptops. And having access to the Apple Pencil just takes things to the next level. You can very quickly and precisely highlight your text or draw directly on your notes. It's just such a breeze to use. And with such a low latency, it feels just like you're drawing on a paper. And there are a handful of little gestures and shortcuts throughout the entire iPad OS that really enhances the experience of using the iPad and help make things easier. For example, taking a screen clip from a web page is just as easy as dragging your pencil from the bottom right corner up and really select the area of the web page you want to get and just copy that to OneNote. Notice here how quickly I can switch between apps just using the 3-finger swipe. It's just so quick and convenient. There will be times you're going to have to read class assignments or long, boring PDF, and sometimes you just want some music in the background. This is where it's really easy on the iPad. You have access to Apple Music, Spotify, or any third-party music applications. You can play that in the background. It's really easy to use. And with it being the iPad, you can literally take it out and hold it in your hand, do what you want to do, make some annotation. It's just fantastic. This is where the iPad really shines over a laptop. Let's try to do the same set of tasks on my trusted Lenovo X1 Carbon. So first off, we're in OneNote. We can do exactly the same thing. The trackpad is great. You can pan around, zoom very smoothly. Highlighting the text is a little bit hard using the trackpad, not as quick and precise as the Apple Pencil. The keyboard on the Lenovo X1 Carbon is fantastic. It's really one of the best keyboard in the business. Writing notes though, it's one of the weakness of using a laptop for this. It's just not as precise. It's really hard to do over the trackpad. It's just not a good experience. Taking a screen clip from a web page is just as easy as it is on the iPad. You can select the area of the screen. In this case, I have a third-party application, copy it, and paste it directly into OneNote. With this being a full-blown Windows laptop, multitasking on here is just on a different level. It's just so much more flexible. You can install whatever application you want. You can have iTunes playing music, Spotify running on the browser in the background, download any PDF, full Windows Explorer, you name it. But reading a PDF on this, it's just not as good an experience as it is on the iPad, at least to me. I just want to mention this, that I love the floating design of the iPad on the Magic Keyboard. But one huge advantage of using the iPad over a laptop is the ability to scan a document within applications such as OneNote. In this case, I'm using OneNote, so I'm going in there, open up the camera within the application, select the type of document or photo, take a photo with it, and OneNote automatically flatten everything out just like a paper document. And from there, you obviously have the Apple Pencil. You can draw, annotate, do whatever to the document. And you really cannot do this, at least not easily, on a lot of other traditional laptops, except for maybe something like a Microsoft Surface Pro, but that's for another discussion. We touched briefly on the multitasking aspect, and on the iPad OS, while limited, it does provide a really good user experience overall. You can use three fingers gestures, left, right, up, and down to switch between apps. You can drag an application from the dock and have it side by side with the current application. You can resize the windows as you wish. You can have two windows and working on one and switch between the two seamlessly. And you can even have a floating application that you want maybe running in the background but have access to it at any time. So overall, it's just a really good but simple experience. Jumping over to the laptop side of things, and multitasking on here with Windows OS is pretty much limitless. It's legendary, right? You can do whatever you want on there. You can have two applications, you can have three applications, you can have 10 applications open at the same time, provided you have the screen real estate. So there's no comparison. It is definitely more flexible than the iPad OS. To conclude this videos, I mean, there are things that's just better done on the iPad, and there are definitely things that are just better done on the laptop. In this case, it's a PC laptop. So let's go over some of those things. For the iPad, it's really the Apple Pencil. It just really takes the experience, especially in note-taking, to the next level. It's so accurate, it's so low latency, it feels amazing to use. And that works amazingly well with OneNote on the iPad. So thumbs up to Microsoft. And here's a biggie, using it as a tablet, right? You can hold a PDF document in your hand lying on the couch, web browsing, play any games, so many apps on the iPad. It's no comparison. Another big thing is the battery life. It's just really reliable on the iPad. Rarely do I have to worry that I'm going to run out of the battery when compare that to my Lenovo X1, which runs out of the battery in 3 hours on average. These things are really just for having the iPad Pro and the Apple Pencil, but where the Magic Keyboard comes in is that it helps you in a situation where you need a really good keyboard and a trackpad all in one package with you anywhere. But when you look at specific software, a lot of those are just not available on the iPad OS. You cannot have Visual Studio, you cannot develop C#, for example, you cannot install IDEs on the iPad, and all the legacy software. Also, you can get a much cheaper laptop than an iPad Pro plus the Magic Keyboard, and it is more flexible because of the things I just mentioned. While Microsoft Office on the iPad OS is pretty good, it's just not the same experience that is on a laptop. And there's some compatibilities issues as well that Microsoft's still working out, even though it's been out for a while. So in that regards, it's just not as good. To conclude this video, I think the iPad Pro plus the Magic Keyboard plus the Apple Pencil is great for students who take a lot of notes and draw on the notes and using the Apple Pencil, and occasionally use it as a tablet mode, browse the web, just holding the PDF document in your hand instead of having to sit on a desk. And if you don't want to worry too much about the battery life, the iPad is a great choice for that. However, if you're required to do any software development or need to run any legacy software, the laptop would still be a better choice for that. But if you want the best of both worlds, and maybe with some compromises, you may want to take a look at the Surface Pro line. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching the videos. I hope this has been helpful, and stay safe.